President, we have a quorum if you'd like to get started.
Thank you, Pam. Good morning, everyone. The meeting's called to order. Note the commissioners on Microsoft Teams. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the commission is meeting virtually. The meeting is being live streamed on the Port's YouTube channel. If you have a question or comment, please use the raise hand function to ensure everyone has an opportunity to speak, and so that we're also ensuring a public meeting. I'll call for motion and second for approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting of April 13th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none. Pam, would you lead us through the vote, please?
Yes, Commissioners Alexander,
Aye.
Kupro-Comas,
Aye.
Lamb,
Aye.
Levy,
Aye.
Nemi,
Aye.
O'Halloran,
Aye.
Sumput, and Strader.
Thank you. Curtis, if you would provide the executive director's report, please.
Bet. Good morning, commissioners. Thank you, Madam President. I hope everyone is doing well this morning. We are looking forward, hopefully next month, to having our commission meeting in person. We'll provide a hybrid option, but I am looking forward to seeing everyone in person and being in the same room together. Let me start the meeting this morning by acknowledging the Port's monthly safety champions. You can see, well, at least a few of their photos here on the screen. Really want to thank members of the Port team who are out there watching out for their coworkers, watching out for our customers and business partners, members of the community, just making sure everyone gets home in a way that is better than when they arrived at work, honestly, and safe. So what I'd like to do is start the day with a safety message from Stan Waters, if I could. Stan, are you ready?
I am. Thanks, Curtis. My message today is that last week the Port collaborated with our construction trade partners, our navigation department, and our business line crafts to recognize and celebrate Construction Safety Week. In response to the staggering rate of suicide deaths among construction industry workers, Construction Safety Work served to address the issue by using the "We Are Not Alone, Connected, Supported, Safe" theme. Safety is a value, a belief, and an obligation that unites workers across individual teams, companies, and industries. The plan for Construction Safety Week was to heighten awareness on current industry concerns and build on safety attributes each day of the week. Remain connected. Being connected among peers gives us strength because it means we are not alone. It means we're side by side in building a stronger, safer industry and in creating a safe, supportive job site for our coworkers. Being supported. Supported means we are here to help each other stay present and focused on the job. Being aware and in tune with the health and well-being of those around us. Being able to see signs of struggle that can impact safety and health. Stay safe. When we're connected and supported, we are better able to look out for ourselves and our teams. Together, we can create a healthy, supportive environment where everyone feels safe to seek help or share their story without judgment. Continue learning. By normalizing these discussions and providing the right tools and resources, we strengthen our connections and cultivate a safe space where everyone feels supported. We can replace the caution tape around personal stresses or struggles with open ears and honest conversation, leading to safer selves, safer teams, and safer job sites. Highly attended employee events occurred at the Port's T-Core construction project and included dropped object demonstration, live fire training, exoskeleton use modeling, job safety walks, recognition meals, and participation raffles for vendor safety prizes. Of note, the T-Core project continues to sustain an exceptional safety record. And also, today happens to be Safety Break for Oregon Day, and the Port is again participating in the Oregon OSHA coordinated event to raise awareness and promote the value of workplace safety and health. Curtis, that's my message today.
Terrific. Thanks, Stan. I really appreciate the message about mental health and depression, suicide risk. I do want to remind port employees who are listening that or watching today that the Employee Assistance Program is available to all port employees. It's free, it's confidential. Stress management advice, family relationships, anxiety, alcohol or drug abuse. It's all on Navigator. You can phone or text or email. I just urge anyone who's feeling pressure, would like a little help or conversation. Really important to make sure you have someone to talk to. So I hope folks who are curious, check it out. The Employee Assistance Program that is on the port's dime. So please use it if you feel like you want to reach out and talk to somebody. Moving on, really exciting news for us a few weeks ago. As I think port commissioners know, we were able to host President Biden at PDX a few weeks ago. Our team really is still buzzing about the chance to show off our airport and our roof to President Biden. I'm really proud of everyone at the port who contributed to the successful visit, really across the board, operations, police, fire, dispatch and comms, just a really remarkable effort by everyone who, one, made us look great, and two, we're really able to show a great story to the president and the Oregon congressional delegation. Several times during the week, I heard great feedback and praise from the White House and from the Secret Service teams for really outstanding effort and cooperation of the whole team. A few of you were able to attend, and you'll note in his remarks at the hangar, the president not only spoke about the many infrastructure improvements that are going to be constructed as part of PDX Next, but also acknowledged how extraordinary PDX is, our achievements as America's best airport 8 times, and the work the port does to support our community resilience and our region's regional prosperity efforts. I do want to thank the members of our own team who were able to tell our story about shared prosperity to the president. And I think Dan Pippinger, our chief operating officer, will attest the president was really interested in hearing more about how are you focusing on shared prosperity and who benefits from the work that you do. So just really grateful for everyone who was able to lend a hand there. Last month, the Yakima Nation, the largest tribe in Washington with over 11,000 members and also the largest supplier of wood for the new PDX Next roof, hosted members of our Port of Portland team for a traditional dinner and a tour of their land and their mill. The wood from the Yakima Nation will be easy for everyone to spot because it surrounds the 34 skylights above the Y-shaped columns in the new terminal core. It's been a really interesting and compelling partnership with the Yakima Nation. They have been very gracious hosts with us and also really interested in furthering the partnership to find additional opportunities to work together. So I know our entire team was really honored by the invitation from the Yakima and really honored to have the opportunity to see and hear how their land, in the words of their cultural resources manager, Christy Fiander, quote, is everything to us, our home, our medicine, our food. So just great thanks to people of Yakima Nation for hosting our team, and look forward to more partnership. On to river news. Army planners and the Columbia River sponsor ports, including our port, hosted 5 virtual information sessions last month to update the public on the 20-year plan for managing dredged material from the lower Columbia River. As you all know, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers actively manages the federally maintained navigation projects. They require that we demonstrate that there's sufficient dredged material placement capacity for a minimum of 20 years. So the Corps and the sponsor ports are working through a joint environmental impact statement for the plan. It's known as the Lower Columbia River Channel Maintenance Plan, Dredged Material Maintenance Plan. I think there are 2 plans in there, and I think that is actually how it goes. So look forward to more work on the Lower Columbia and working with our partner ports and the Corps on that process. So that, Madam President, is my the substance of my comments for the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Curtis, and thank you for the safety message. I think it's really important to continue to focus on wellness and mental health Certainly the pandemic has exacerbated folks' feelings of isolation, and we need to make sure we're there for each other. Thank you for reminding folks of resources at the port. I also wanted to thank port employees for the work they did on the Biden visit. I'm sure for many of you, it was one more day or one more week of doing a lot of amazing things, just more public than usual, but handled really professionally. And I know I appreciated the opportunity to be there and see it all. I'll call for make sure no one has any questions or comments before. Okay. Call for a motion and second for approval of the executive director's report.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask Pam to lead us through the vote, please.
Commissioners Alexander,
Aye.
Kukrow-Comas,
Aye.
Lamb,
Aye.
Levy, Commissioner Levy, you're on mute. There you go.
Aye.
Nemi,
Aye.
O'Halloran,
Aye.
Sumput,
Aye.
and Strader. Who's not present. Thank you.
Thank you. We didn't receive any public comments for the meeting this month, so we will move on with the agenda to the consent item. And I ask if any commissioner wants a presentation of the consent item, the title of which is City of Molalla Enterprise Zone Expansion and Reauthorization. Okay, seeing none there, I will call for motion and second for approval of the consent item.
So moved. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All right, Pam, back to you.
Commissioners Alexander,
Aye.
Kukrow-Comas,
Aye.
Lamb,
Aye.
Levy,
Aye.
Nemi,
Aye.
O'Halloran,
Aye.
Sumput,
Aye.
and Strader. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll call on Antoinette Chandler to introduce the first agenda item.
Thank you. Good morning, commissioners. Today we're before you to request your approval for the port's fiscal year 22-23 budget and to request authorization to submit our budget to the Multnomah County Tax Supervising and Conservation Commission, or the TSCC, for a public hearing to be held on June 8th of this year. And just to recap our annual budget process, which is consistent with the Oregon Revised Statutes, ORS 294.456, that governs our local budget process. In April, we came before the commission to present the proposed budget. This month, May, we present any budget adjustments since our public presentation and request your approval of the budget and authorization to submit to TSCC. And then in early June, we'll participate in the TSCC public hearing. And in late June, we'll call a special meeting to have the commission adopt the fiscal year budget. So this morning, Fran is going to walk us through the fiscal 23 budgeted resources and requirements and any subsequent adjustments since we presented the proposed budget last month. With that, I will turn it over to Fran.
Good morning, commissioners. As Antoinette noted, this agenda item requests commission approval of the port's fiscal year 22-23 budget. And just as a reminder, the budget is a funding plan for actions that have been approved by the commission and for planning purposes, anticipated projects or initiatives that may require further commission review and approval before they are implemented. Next slide, please. And Antoinette really kind of covered this in her introductory remarks, but this is just kind of to recap where we are in our budget process, just as part of compliance with the Oregon Revised Statutes governing local budget law. The port, of course, began with a public hearing on a budget last month. Today, we're here to get your approval of the budget and authorize our submission to the TSCC. And of course, the next step is June 8th, where the TSCC will have their public hearing on our budget. And we do expect to receive their approval after that June 8th public hearing. And then finally, on June 28th, we will request that the commission formally adopt our fiscal year 23 budget. Next slide, please. So since last month's public hearing, we have really only made a few minor changes. Exhibits to the agenda item in your packet outline the differences between the proposed budget presented last month and the budget submitted to you today. It's just important to note that none of these adjustments represents changes in our strategic priorities or business plans. So key changes include an increase to our general fund of $1.1 million to reflect marine pass-through revenues and expenses to capture Pacific Maritime Association cargo tonnage assessments on our containers at Terminal 6, as well as revised debt service estimates for the financing of navigation equipment. An increase in our airport revenue fund of about $200,000 to reflect revised personnel services expenses, as well as internal burden rates. And finally, a decrease in the airport construction fund of about $100,000, just due to the net impact of transfers from other funds, specifically the airport revenue fund. Next slide, please. At this time, staff requests approval of the executive director's recommendation to approve the port's fiscal year 23 budget. And I can answer any questions you might have.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Appreciate the updates from since our last meeting. Any questions from Commission? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for a motion and second to approve the executive director's recommendation.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All right, Pam, would you lead us through the vote, please?
Commissioners Alexander,
Aye.
Cooper Comas,
Aye.
Alexander. Oh, sorry, Lamb,
Is this Chicago? Do I get the vote twice?
Aye.
Levy,
Aye.
Nemi,
Aye.
O'Halloran,
Aye.
Sumput,
Aye.
and Strader. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next agenda item is Dan Pippinger will introduce for us.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pleasure to see you all. This agenda item requests approval to award a landside management services contract to SP Plus Corporation to manage the day-to-day operations of parking, shuttle bus, and commercial roadway facilities at PDX. Here to present the item is Steve Kester, the Interim Senior Manager of Landside Business and Properties. Steve?
Good morning, thank you. Next slide, please. So I guess this commission agenda item requests approval to award a landside management service contract to SP Plus Corporation to manage the day-to-day operations of the parking facilities, the public, employee, and international federal inspection station shuttle services, and the commercial roadway operations at Portland International Airport. Next slide, please. Our landside management agreement has 4 operating areas. It includes the parking system of garages, service lots, Gold Key Valet, and employee parking office, our economy and employee parking bus, the international shuttle bus, and our commercial roadway and hold lot operations. The current agreement was awarded to SP Plus through a competitive bid process in 2014, and this agreement expires the end of this fiscal year after two-year extensions. Next slide, please. Our Landside campus now has over 19,400 garage and surface parking lots after the introduction of our new 3rd garage. And looking at fiscal year 19, the parking and ground transportation operations generated over $82 million in revenue. And this operator does interact with a large number of our customers. In 2019, We had over 2.1 million parking transactions. We transported over 3.2 million employees and customers from our parking lots. And we had over 1.7 million pickups on our commercial roadway. And while we're not quite at our 2019 activity levels yet, we are expecting between $65 and $68 million by the end of this fiscal year. Next slide, please. Our team issued a new landside management agreement RFP in January of this year. We received 3 proposals at the end of February, and our team began the scoring process in early March. We based our evaluation on the qualifications of the operator to operate a system similar to PDX. We looked at the management and staffing team, and this primarily focused on the employees' wages and benefits, their vacation opportunities, flexible schedules, and career growth opportunities within the company. We wanted a company that had a proven track record of providing a high level of customer service and was able to operate an environment with significant construction projects, such as T-Core or a new revenue control system. We looked at their fixed management fee and the operating cost and reimbursables. And this agreement did focus more on the ACDBE participation opportunities for small businesses. And the social equity program looked at the company's history of mentoring and partnering with small businesses and their community involvement. And the top 2 of the 3 proposals were asked to interview so that they could further expand on their proposals. Next slide, please. Team selected SP Plus as the highest ranked proposal. Their management fee of $460,000 annual is representing only a 1.6% increase from the current annual fee that we're paying today. And of the $13.6 million operating budget, they proposed 90% of that is in wages and benefits to the employees. And we're expecting around 180 people will be part of this contract. And about 85% of the current SP Plus employees are currently represented and will continue to be represented by Teamsters, and they receive wages that are already at or above the airport service provider minimum wage. And SP Plus and Teamsters will be renegotiating their contract later this calendar year, and we expect that wage scale to further increase. Next slide, please. In the proposal, SP Plus committed to over 20% DBE participation through various subcontracting, ground transportation systems, and the parking services, as well as some of the current operations as uniforms and security. This is up from 2% today. So we're going from 2% to over 20% ACDBE participation, and we're very excited about the opportunity this contract will provide ACDBE participation. SP Plus has been a longtime supporter and sponsor of our USO club here at PDX and a member of the Stars and Stripes golf tournament here locally. In 2021, they were awarded the Inclusive Leadership Award by the Airport Minority Advisory Council. And SP Plus has been committed to removing barriers in the workplace to allow people at executive positions through their Women's Advisory Forum. In their proposal, SP Plus mentioned a long history of partnering and mentoring with ACDBE programs. One such company they mentioned was with Global Parking Systems. They began working with Global in 1995 at New Orleans Airport and have since brought Global Parking with them as a DBE participant in San Francisco, Houston, and Denver airports. And they have included Global Parking as one of their ACDBE participants on this contract as well. Next slide, please. And again, we request approval of the Executive Director's recommendation to enter into a landside management service contract with SP Plus Corporation. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the presentation. Just wanted to confirm that you mentioned there would be bargaining with the Teamsters union that represents some of these employees. Any increase in wages would be in addition to the fee that we're speaking about here.
It could. The management fee, I think when the 13.6 million did include increases and a full complement of 180 or so employees. we don't have 180 at this time, so I think any increase may increase at 13.6, but I don't think it'd be much.
Thank you. Commissioner Alexander.
Yes, Stephen, thank you very much for the presentation. I just had maybe a somewhat related question. Do any of the scope of services here include security or provision of services to cyclists, or is this just vehicular traffic?
The security they provide is in the parking facilities, the garages and the employee lot and condiment lot.
Thank you. Thank you. I can't help but recall on one of our previous trips to Amsterdam, just the volume of cycles at the airport in and of itself. And I didn't know if we were planning on seeing that expand. Thank you.
Any further questions? Okay, I will call for motion and second for approval of the executive director's recommendation.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, Pam?
Commissioners Alexander,
Aye.
Kukrow Comas,
Aye.
Lamb,
Aye.
Levy,
Aye.
Nemi.
I would just like to point out that I have a potential conflict of interest on this based on the fact that the union I work for represents some of these workers, but I am in support of the contract.
Okay. O'Halloran,
Aye.
Sumput,
Aye.
and Strader.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. That brings us to the end of our short agenda for this month. Meeting is adjourned and we'll see each other next month. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Bye.